Good morning, everybody. Welcome to lesson 7 of our narrative unit on the bad-tempered ladybird. Our learning objective today says, can I create a word bank? And you should be watching this on the 22nd of April. So let's get started. I've got 3 animals just here that we're going to be matching the words to. So I've got some adjectives I've written down here. I've added the conjunction and to join them. And we're going to be matching these up to the animals. Now I've chosen 3 animals that hopefully you will know at this point. Perhaps you've even seen them in real life. That would be exciting. So I've got my favourite, the badger, just here, a little spiky hedgehog, and an owl. There we go, all sort of foresty creatures, so woodland creatures. Let's have a look. I've got the adjectives small and spiky just here. You might like to pause the video now and see where you can match those up to. Small and spiky, so there we go, all the way matched up to my hedgehog. He is both small and spiky, little prickles on his back. Next I've got the words furry and stripy. Pause here if you'd like to. And we can match those up to Mr. Badger. There we go. He is both furry and stripy. He's got a lovely stripe down the front of his face just there. And the last one, as we can see, soft. Soft. Careful of that consonant blend at the end there. Soft and feathered. All his feathers. There we go. Soft and feathered. That's my owl. Super, everybody. Well done matching those adjectives. I wonder if you can think of a few of your own. Maybe think of some more adjectives to describe these animals. Excellent. Okay, let's get on to our second task of the day, everybody. So it says here, can I create a word bank? And we are indeed going to be creating a word bank today for a new character. Now, as we're going to be innovating our story of the bad-tempered ladybird, we're going to be changing it slightly and writing a page for our own animals. So we're going to be adding our own animal into the mix. So it's not going to be a wasp or a ladybird or a hyena or one of the animals that's there already. We're going to be choosing a new animal to be adding to the story. Now I've chosen my favourite, I've chosen a badger, but you can choose whichever animal you like. It is your choice. Okay, so have a think. It'd be excellent if it's an animal who hasn't appeared in our book already. Okay. So, in order for us to write about this animal on the next page of our story, everybody, we're going to today create a word bank to try and help us. Now, this word bank is going to come in really useful when we write our page tomorrow. Okay, so I've thought about my badger. I've even actually had a look at a couple of videos of badgers and how they move and what they do and how they behave. So I've done a little bit of research. And then I've made this table. So first of all here I've got the title verbs. Now if you remember from yesterday, those are doing words, some of the things that badgers do, verbs, okay? And I've created a little list here of verbs that I think really match a badger and their movements and what they do. So I've got here the words shuffle, walk, stumble, scratch, nibble, and sniff. So I think all those verbs are all sort of action words that badgers do. They sort of match my badger quite nicely. Let's move him down here so we can see him. There we go. They're all things that my badger does, and I think that they'll help me out tomorrow when I'm creating my my new page. So what you will do is you'll think of your new animal. You can even draw yourself a picture, and then add some verbs just here that you think match that animal. So for example, if I was doing something like a spider, if that was my animal, then some verbs I might write crawl, I might write scuttle, things like spin, things like that. Okay, so verbs that match your animal. Alright, so the second part today, I've also written some adjectives, some describing words to match my animal. Okay, so I've thought about my badger carefully, I've thought about what it looks like, and I've added some adjectives to this column just here, and you can create a table just like this, children, on a piece of paper, just with 2 columns like this. So adjectives I've written, obviously I've got here black and white, those are the really easy ones, aren't they? They're colours that describe my badger. I've written here rough. I think that sometimes when you look at badger fur, it might look like, sometimes it looks quite soft, but sometimes it can look quite rough, especially in sort of the muddy patches on their fur. So I've written rough. I've written wiry. Sometimes their fur can look quite coarse and wiry. I've written short because they've got those lovely short stumpy legs, haven't they, which I think is so sweet. And I've written here sharp because their claws can often be quite sharp for digging and burrowing. They need those sharp claws, don't they? Wonderful, everybody. So today I'll be really looking forward to seeing your picture of your new animal that we're going to add to our story, and a list of verbs and a list of adjectives that match up to that animal. Okay? All right, and just as an extension today, I've also thought about 3 different things that my animal might do. Okay, so these are just some examples of sentences I might write tomorrow. So I've written sniffing the forest floor. That's something that badgers like to do. Shuffling through the leaves. You can almost imagine that shuffling sound, can't you? And scratching its fur. Okay, so some things that I think my badger might get up to. All right, everybody, fantastic. Really looking forward to seeing your work. Make sure you upload it to Class Dojo, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.